Hi, my name is Remy and welcome to Remy's Rules and Reviews. Today I wanted to shoot a quick video about GenCon 2014. I just got back, so my voice is still a little cracked up. I apologize for that, by the way. This was my first GenCon ever, so a lot of new experience in the last weekend. First off, I think it was a great weekend. Anybody remotely interested in board games should definitely try and attend this convention if at all possible. I guess it's fairly cheap for people from the States. I'm in Canada, so it's a lot more expensive, but still it's worth it. I will try and make it again next year in 2015. I just wanted to show you a couple of the games I first bought at GenCon. And then also I'm gonna end the video with some pictures I took there of other games I demoed there, so that you can see what was interesting according to me. And also I missed a lot of things. Obviously, I mean I had no way of seeing everything and demoing everything. So these will be a couple of pictures of games I think I will be buying when they come out, because some of them are still not available at retail. So I'll go quickly through the games here and then end the video with a bunch of pictures. So the first game I have here is Desperados of Dice Town. I haven't actually played this one. I've seen it demoed and I was interested in the concept. I'm a big fan of the original Dice Town, and so the theme spoke to me right away. It's under 30 minutes, it's rated at 25 minutes, it's 2 to 5 players, and it's the same great art as the original Dice Town, so I will probably be making a video about this one pretty quickly. Next, we have Mercs Conflict. This is a 2 players game made by MegaCon Games. It's in their Mercs universe. In this box you have 4 different factions available, and it's a player versus player game, so it's a dice building game. You try and acquire new and better dice every turn, and then try to damage your opponent's dice pool to eventually get rid of him. You get 4 different factions in the box, and each player chooses one and go at the face to face. Eventually they will probably, depending on the success of this box, release expansions with new factions. So you should be able to play it with more than 2 players if you get one of the expansion or a second base set. So great fun with this game. I demoed it with Kenny at MegaCon Games. We had a great time. So again, I will be making a video on this one pretty soon. Next is Pandemic Contagion. Also there, I'm a big fan of the original Pandemic, which was a fully co-op game. This time they turned the theme around on its head, so each player is playing one of the disease, and every disease is trying to be the one responsible for pretty much the end of the world, or just killing as much people as they can. So in the game you will be mutating your disease, infecting new cities, and you will be facing events every turn that could be good or bad for you depending on the event. So ton of fun, very simple game to play, it plays quickly. What does it say in the box? 30 minutes. That's pretty much the time it took us for our 3 games so far already. I demoed it at GenCon, ton of fun. Next is Black Spy, also by Z-Man Games, the same company that did the Pandemic. This one is the first game in their deluxe card game series. As you may have seen, I've made recently a video about Parade, which was the second game in this series. So I didn't have the first one, so now I do. This game is very similar to Hearts, but with a theme of like a noir film experience, and it revolves around spies. So I'm probably going to do a quick video on this one soon too. Next is Dungeon Roll. Very fun, light game, plays fast, and yet you can have a lot of strategy going into a game. So that's always nice, and you can play a game, second game really soon afterwards. So great game. I have a couple of pictures of this game, I think, so you will see what it looks like in the end. But basically it's a treasure chest. You've got a bunch of dice in and your character cards, so every player will draw a random character at the beginning of the game which has a different ability, and then start rolling dice and delve into the dungeons, try and get as much treasure as possible and win the game. So dungeon roll. Next is Timeline. That's actually I'm gonna say pretty old game. It's not that old, but it's been out for a while. Just didn't get to it yet. So it was fairly cheap at GenCon, so I bought it. Every game has a different theme in Timeline. So the theme in this one is music and cinema. I felt like it was the theme that would be easiest to play with my casual gaming groups, as everybody kind of knows music and cinema, so it seemed like the easiest one to play. Fairly simple game. Every player has a bunch of different cards in their hand, and on one side of the card you have the name of either the film or the group, the music group or whatever. And on the other side you have the same information plus the year it was created. So you need to create a timeline that makes sense. So every player on his turn will place one card in the timeline and try and put it at the right place in the timeline. And if you succeed, you get rid of that card. If you don't succeed, you remove the card from the timeline since it's not at the right place and pick a new card. The idea of the game is to get rid of your cards. So if you miss, you get one more card to place later on. So that's Timeline. Now this one is very, very different. That's a puzzle book by Mike Selinker. I've actually met him there. Nice man. Had a lot of fun with him. So in this book, it's similar to books in which you are the hero and decide the sequence of the adventure. So you will turn from one page to another, not necessarily reading it cover to cover in the right order. So you try and figure out the sequence of the game. But in this one, it's made up of a bunch of different puzzles that you need to solve. And if you do solve them, then it tells you on what page to go next. So you won't be resolving those puzzles in the order they are in the book. So it sounded like a great idea. I haven't started yet, so hopefully it's going to be a great game, book, puzzle, game, whatever. So there you go. I have here Student Bodies. I've met Kurt from Smirk and Daggers there. I've demoed the game with him. It's a very fun, I'm gonna say, mean-spirited game. I mean, as usual with Smirk and Daggers, you can always backstab your friends. So this game is every player for himself. You don't necessarily have to hit other players or try to get rid of them. You can just play your own game and try and not worry about them. But in this game, you're in a high school. Every player plays a high school student, and everybody's infected with the zombie virus. So you start at the entrance of the school, and you try to go to the chemistry lab to grab an antidote for the disease, drink it, and go back out. As soon as you go back out, you lock the door, and everybody inside dies. So there will be some player betrayal, there will be some shoving into a pile of zombie, and there will be some tripping other players. So this game is very fun. I demoed it there. As it says on the box, no guns, one chance, no mercy. So that's pretty much the theme of the game. You'll be able to find some weapons. There are not much weapons. I mean, you're in a high school. So a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a couple pictures at the end of the video on this one, and I will be making a video or probably more than one on Student Bodies. Next is I kept my myth box here because I grabbed my second wave of stuff from the myth Kickstarter. So a lot of new stuff to show you guys and to play with. They didn't add everything that was left, so I should be receiving the third box pretty soon. And I'll show you a couple pictures later on. It brings a lot of new enemies and heroes to the game, so that's always nice. And I will be probably shooting videos about how each monster type plays out a bit later on. Small add-on, I didn't actually buy the new Pathfinder adventure card game base set at GenCon. They had it, but I decided to hold off because of the size and weight of the box. I mean, I had to come back to Canada with my baggage, right? So, but I grabbed the promo character mat for Ranzak, the new promo character. He's a goblin pirate. So, I mean, what more can you want from a game? A goblin pirate. So I'm a big fan of Pathfinder adventure card game, so I can't wait to play the new one. Just have to wait that it hits retail and then grab it. The last one I wanted to show you, I didn't actually buy at GenCon. I played it at GenCon, I demoed it at GenCon, but I had already pre-ordered it, so just happened that it showed up to my place while I was at GenCon, so just picked it up. It's Dead of Winter by Plaid Games. I had the chance of demoing the game with John Gilmore, one of the two designers on the game. So we had a lot of fun playing it. We played 5 players. In this one, it's a 2 to 5 player game. You're part of a colony in a post-apocalyptic winter with zombies. So everything's pretty much there. To me, this feels like playing the comic book Walking Dead. I mean, so far it's a great game. I have nothing bad to say about it, so I'm gonna have to play a couple more games to really get a handle on it, but fairly simple game to play. Plays 2 to 5 players, that's always nice. Everybody, it's a meta co-op they're calling, so everybody's playing together, at least officially, to try and solve a crisis every turn in the colony and try in the end to succeed at one common goal for the colony. But then every player also has a secret objective. Most of them, you have to complete the colony objective to succeed and then also succeed at something else. And some of them are betrayers. So in a game, you may or may not have a betrayer every time. Lots of fun. In the demo game, I suspected one of my friends for all the game. And there's a dynamic mechanic where you can exile people in the game. And I almost exiled him at some point. Turned out he was not the betrayer, some other guy was. So that's the kind of paranoia you're gonna have in this game, I feel. Every time someone does something that looks odd to you, you're gonna think he's the betrayer. So there you go. So Dead of Winter, lots of fun. Thanks again, John, for the game, if you're watching. So I'm gonna be doing videos on this one too. Great game. And that's pretty much what I got at GenCon, so a lot of stuff to bring back in my baggage. It was a good thing I had big baggage, I guess. I'm gonna end this video now. Thanks for watching. I will leave you with some pictures I took at GenCon and here of the different games I just showed you and some other game at GenCon that I think look great and I will probably buy when they come out, but since they weren't out, I couldn't buy them. So there you go, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you guys today. Thanks for watching.